Hi friends, welcome back. My name is John and you are tuned in to Courageous Conversations by John. And today we're going to be talking about a subject that's pretty near and dear to me. It's going to be a fast video and it's going to be talking about the relationship between resistance and receiving. And the bigger overarching point that you want to wrap all this in is, what is your relationship with attracting good things into your life? Because a lot of us have areas of our life that we feel absolutely abundant and full in, and some of us have areas of our life where we feel scarce. Like for a number of years romantically, I felt scarce. I felt like I didn't have a whole lot of options open to me, and I would really, a lot of the times, compromise on my preferences and my heart's desires just to be in a really fake relationship. When I started to actually lower some of the resistance to receiving what my heart's desire was, things started to show up in my life that were precursors to what I ultimately wanted. So there's a point that I want to talk about, and it zooms in on this spectrum between resistance and receiving. And you can have a lot of different levels of this. You can be totally open to receiving something, and you can be totally closed off to receiving something. Totally closed off, to my mind, has the word resistance. I'm pushing back against it. I'm actually offering physical force in keeping it from showing up in my life. And then receiving has a lot to do with open arms, making space for it and saying hello and really cherishing it when it shows up. When you hear a statement like that, people almost always drill into the area of their life that they're feeling lack in. So when someone explains the resistance and the receiving, you say, let me explain this to you, and then in the background they start to do this thing about, well, geez, I haven't had a fulfilling relationship in a long time. Or it's been a real long time since I felt like any of the money I've earned is mine, because it all is just directly given to creditors and bills and things like that. And just hold that for a moment. If you zoom in on any area where you're feeling lack, there's normally a lack of options there, or a perceived lack of options. That's really an interesting way to frame it. And what that lack of options oftentimes does is it leads to panic. And there's different levels of panic. There's full blown, like, oh my God, the building's on fire. And then there's, just a subtle level of anxiety that chases you everywhere you go. What I wanted to talk about in this particular context is when you start to look at that with intention, you can really get an idea about how this is standing in the way of you actually getting what you want. And interestingly enough, the best way to dissolve that panic is to continue to give openly in the areas of your life that you feel abundant in. So let's say, for example, bad time in physical, human, romantic relationships, doing great at work monetarily. Giving of your money and your time and your essence, and then holding in your heart with intention that you would like to see a shift in this romantic area over here, while you're being abundant and generous and open-hearted over in this other partition of your life. That is a really interesting way to get the juices flowing over here. So it's not like the romantic happiness you want is over in one place and the financial happiness you want is over here and the physical health happiness you want is right here. No. All your answers are over here in the same little treasure trove. One of the things that I love, it's from the work of Abraham, is she says, always turn downstream. And I like that, because if you're floating with the current of life, there's really not all that much you need to do other than enjoy the ride and be at peace that you will ultimately arrive in a destination that's working for you. So, just to land the plane here, resistance has normally got a level of panic around it, and that's not so hot. It actually stands in the way. Receiving can be very, very much the antidote to that. And if you've received generously in one area of your life, feel free to give there, to be open-hearted there, and watch that area, that pocket of resistance thaw and crack open and wonderful things manifest in your life. Once again, my name is John. This video is on the Courageous Conversations by John channel, and if you've liked what you've heard, please like. If you want more videos to be shared with you, then please subscribe. And if you're digging this dialogue, feel free to comment, tell your friends, and all that wonderful stuff. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and investing in your spiritual growth in this way and helping me as well. Namaste.